The National Trust is famous worldwide for its stunning properties, but its gardens and its landscapes are equally spectacular. I'm Jane Moore, and in this new series with the National Trust's official partner STIHL, I'll be going behind the scenes to see just what it takes to maintain and manage these magnificent landscapes. Today I'm here at Anglesey Abbey in Cambridgeshire, where I'll be looking at a glorious winter garden, finding out how to look after hedges and looking at the most amazing Snowdrop collection. But first, a little bit of history. Anglesey Abbey was never actually an abbey. That's a little bit of Victorian whimsy. But what it is the most amazing 20th century garden, all planted by one man, Lord Fairhaven. He created the enormous avenues that are here today, planted some superb trees, and also planted a lot of snowdrops. And that's where I'm starting. Hi, David.
Hello, Jane.
I am so looking forward to seeing this collection.
I'm glad you are, because I look forward to coming here every day. This is a collection that's been started about 2006 in this area.
So you've been collecting these snowdrops for 20 years then?
Oh, more than that.
Really?
Yeah, so the initial Anglesey Abbey Snowdrop that we named was found in 1971, and everything here has been swapped ever since. So, yeah, we've built up quite a collection. We're up to about 500 varieties now.
500, really? And they are so wildly different, aren't they? I mean, look at that one, it's huge.
Absolutely, it's called Primrose's Giant.
Well, it is a giant.
Absolutely.
You'd think a snowdrop is a snowdrop, but actually they are massively different when you see them close to.
Well, there's 22 species in the world, and there are autumn flowering ones that start in October, right the way through to late ones, something like a species called Krasnovii, which grows in the meltwater of glaciers.
Wow.
They would be really late flowering in this country, but it's difficult to get the conditions that they need right.
No, I thought I was doing quite well because I got 2 months worth of snowdrops.
Yeah.
From just 2 varieties. But some people get very, very excited about collecting snowdrops, don't they?
Absolutely.
And indeed breeding them.
Yes, snowdrops are naturally promiscuous, so they hybridise very easily. And when you've got large numbers like this together, any insects, they fly and they're pollinating between flowers, so they're generating their natural hybrids.
And you've been selecting out some interesting looking ones and naming them, haven't you?
Absolutely. We're standing right next to Anglesey Abbey here, which started it all off. But behind us, I've got one called Moses Basket that has a very strange shape. That's one that stood out for me, and I've chosen it, and it's something I've propagated in the past.
So are you still collecting and selecting new varieties?
Absolutely. And when we do find them, I propagate them by chipping. So I cut the bulb up when it's dormant and then pot them on as they start to grow. Yeah. And we can go and see those up at the nursery.
That would be fantastic. So one new bulb turns into 4 new plants,
at least,
and so it grows and grows.
So what we've got here are 2 pots of snowdrops. The one I'm holding was one that I propagated in 2023, and the one you're holding, Jane, it was one we did last year.
Last year, and look at the roots already.
I know. They were potted on from a tiny little bulbil in October, November, and they've grown that much this year.
Because it's quite drastic how you propagate these, isn't it?
I mean, you take the bulb, you take the brown covering off the bulb, and you end up with a white bit. You peel off any loose roots, and then you cut the top off with a sterilised razor blade, and you turn it upside down, chop it into quarters, and you put it into damp vermiculite, a ratio of 1 litre of vermiculite to 100 millilitres of water. Right. And then you put it into a polythene bag in a propagator at about 20 centigrade for 12 weeks. Wow. In the dark if possible. Yeah. And then you get these little babies come.
So you obviously feel very confident in your propagating ability, because it seems such a, you find this one bulb of a new variety that you'll think, oh, this is so precious. You dig it up and promptly chop it into pieces.
Absolutely, but it's got more than one chance of survival.
That's true, that is true.
So, going from one bulb having a 50% chance of survival, if you chop it into 4 pieces, it's increased its life. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a natural reaction for the plant.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is how you've been sort of propagating and finding some of these interesting Anglesey Abbey
Absolutely.
sort of varieties.
Yeah. Well, the one on this the right-hand side here, that's one called Trumps, which is the one you're holding. And you can see it's a really attractive flower. It's got lovely green markings on the outside.
Very
But
pretty.
if you turn the flower upright, you'll see it's got lovely green stripes as
Oh,
well.
yeah, that's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely
it
gorgeous.
bulks up nicely, so it's a really good doer. So that's a good one for the garden.
This one would be a good one for my garden if I'm going to start becoming a galanthophile. Then.
It's because it's got those markings on the outside, it really is a talking point, doesn't it?
Absolutely. This one is a bit of a talking point
Yeah.
as well. Look at that huge flower head.
Well, that's Richard Ayres. That was named a few years back now, but after a head gardener that was Anglesey Abbey.
Ah, so
And
this is one of your very own then?
Yes, this is one of their very own, yeah.
Yeah. And these have been recently, or in the last few years. How old is this?
These are ones that we received gifts from the Snowdrop Collection. So,
Right.
so we've got quite a few Snowdrops
So you're
in
getting
them.
some back, doing the swaps.
Yes, so it's a way of us making sure that we've got good stocks of the plants.
Right.
Another one here is one that I named many years back called Anglesey Orange Tip. And it has this orange hue to the flower, so much brighter when it's in bud.
Yeah, I
But
can
the
see
orange
it though.
fades as it gets older.
Yeah, because these snowdrops are a real snow white, aren't
Absolutely.
they? A really clear white, and that's almost sort of a cream. Lovely. But as well as this Snowdrop collection, you've got quite a winter garden in its own right, haven't
yeah,
you?
Yeah,
Which I would love to see.
yeah. Perfect weather for winter.
Absolutely. Shall we go?
Yeah, let's go.
So we've gone from the absolutely tiny to this enormous grove of birches.
Yeah, and they were here just a year before I started. So they never had a hint of what they're going to be. They were thin, brown, they're about the thickness of my thumb, and we really couldn't work out what they're going to be like.
So you've seen this grove evolve.
Absolutely, it's changed beyond all measure, really. But the way it's designed is you've come down a very narrow path, and all of a sudden it opens out, and then you hit this monochrome. So you've got black soil, white stems, and it just works. It's that relief from being compressed down that narrow path and
Into
works
opening out
differently.
into
Yeah.
this. I mean, it is absolutely stunning, so striking, isn't it? These birches are beautiful. These are the Himalayan birch, aren't they, I think?
They are. This is Specula utilis jackmontii.
Jackmontii with
Yeah.
their super white bark.
Yeah.
But most of us haven't got room for a whole grove of birches, have we? But there are lots of other good trees for park that you could have in a smaller garden.
Absolutely, yeah. And lots of cherries have got good bark. Prunus cerula is very good. Acer, I think it's one of your favourites. Acer griseum.
Yeah,
The paperbark maple.
paperbark maple, absolutely
good.
lovely. And I also love the snakebark maples.
Yeah.
They're so unusual.
But it's good to pick ones with good leaf colour as well, so you get a bit of mixture.
I think that's
of
what I like
things.
so much about the acers. And Acer griseum is such a slow grower. It's kind of well behaved as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But also you get that autumn colour that all
Yeah.
acers have.
And
it's,
fruit as well.
Yeah, so it's like you're getting so much value from that one tree.
But just having one tree and then putting a few different brightly coloured stems like dogwoods with a few bulbs underneath, it gives you that little essence of.
Yeah,
of
you've got
sort
some
of
lovely
winter.
dogwoods, haven't you? I think I recognise the red Baton Rouge,
Absolutely.
and there's some lovely orange ones. Are they Midwinter Fire?
We
Or-
have Midwinter Fire, but we also have one called Annie's Winter Orange,
Oh, yeah.
which really glows, especially in a sort of slightly murky day like
Yeah.
today.
There's also some fantastic evergreens, aren't there?
Yeah, we use a lot of euonymus,
Mm.
evergreen spindle, and you can get emerald and gold, emerald gaiety.
They're not usually my favourite plants, but I really like how that you've cut them into sort of mounds and hummocks. They're really, really attractive.
It doesn't take a lot, but it really affects it. And we've planted it amongst viburnum dawn, and the pink in the flowers of the dawn is often reflected in little pink tints in the leaves of the euonymus.
And when you mention dawn, I always just think of the scent. I have a sort of scent memory of it because it's so fragrant, isn't it?
It is, it's fabulous, yeah, really good.
And you've got some other really lovely scented plants, including one of my all-time favourites, which is the winter sweet.
Yeah, Chimonanthus, it's a lovely plant. We've noticed the change when it first started flowering here. It was the end of February. We're now seeing it flowering in January. So, you know, as it's getting warmer, the climate seems to be moving on. And the scent is fantastic.
But I think if you only had a small space, a Christmas box would be ideal as a scented plant, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there's quite a few varieties to choose from. There's some with blackberries, some with red berries. They start flowering sort of the end of January. They last a little while, and you can prune them quite hard once they've flowered, so you don't have to get a huge, great plant.
Yeah, they're really quite versatile, aren't they? I've used them in pots and things for winter, sort of winter bedding, you know.
You can always use it as a hedge as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But you've got quite a few interesting varieties here, so I'd like to go and have a quick look at them.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
Hi. You've got a lot of hedges here at Anglesey Abbey, haven't you?
Yeah, quite a lot of varieties.
There are loads of different ones, aren't there? Holm oak, beech, yew, and I imagine they all need treating in a slightly different way?
Yeah, so we start at the end of August on the yew. If you start any earlier, then it will start growing back. And then we go on to the beech, copper beech and the holm oak.
Right. That keeps you busy, I would imagine.
Yeah, so we use a line as well. And then we use garden shears.
Oh, do you, just to get that rough, fine finish?
So you'll put the line up so with bamboo canes and just a bit of string. And then you want to use the shears to get the front done, so it's dead level, and then you go in with the edge cutter afterwards.
Right, just for that sort of final
For big
finish.
hedges like this, we use the long reach. If you want to get right up to the top, obviously, siding up.
Oh, they're brilliant, aren't
if they're
they?
really wide, you want to use the long reach really to get right to the back.
One of the great things about cutting hedges in the winter, of course, is that you don't disturb any wildlife, do you? You don't disturb any birds that are nesting.
At all during the nesting season.
No.
There'll be a lot of wildlife here, a lot of birds.
I imagine that you've got huge amounts of wildlife here, and what with all the hedges and all the trees and the landscape around as well.
Yep.
You must get some really interesting.
Yeah, we've got woodpeckers, nuthatches, a lot of buzzards. Start to see red kites now as well.
Oh yeah. Well, I suppose I better let you get back to your hedge trimming.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. And thank you so much for joining me here at Anglesey Abbey. For more ideas and tips from National Trust Gardens, please do subscribe to the STIHL YouTube channel. See you next time.